Hey little cuties, Demi Bemi here, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So as you all know, probably by now, I am obsessed with Japan. So what are we doing today but a Japanese inspired build? And I ran across a couple of inspiration photos, I guess, on Pinterest, and I had actually done a different build, but it turned out too weird. Like, I don't know, it just wasn't great, and it ended up being too traditional looking, but then like I don't really know exactly what traditional Japanese architecture looks like. I only have, you know, reference photos in my memory of like being there and all that kind of stuff, so I don't know, it felt like it was too like try hard and it was weird. So I felt like I would just do something a little bit more in my comfort zone, which is doing more modern-esque build. So I wanted to do a modern build but still have some traditionally kind of vibes to it. So even though none of the Japanese homes I saw had like weren't really like built with stone like walls or anything like that, it gives me like an old world vibe, and not even necessarily Japanese, but my personal style, which I feel like I can't help but put into the builds, is just this sort of like country-esque kind of like natural kind of vibe with the modern aesthetic, because I really love the fusion of those two styles. So I feel like that always kind of comes out, and I feel like Japan as a whole to me kind of embodies that. It's one of the most technologically advanced countries in the world, but also they still are very much in touch with their like tradition and culture, which is really cool. And so I thought I would try to convey that sentiment through this build. And also, I just like can't stop thinking about Japan. Like, it's kind of becoming a problem. I literally have dreams I live in Japan. It's like, it's a whole thing. Like, honestly, my life goal is just to get back to Japan and then die there. Anyway, so that was kind of like my idea for this build, was just to have this sort of like modern and traditional Japanese-esque kind of a vibe. And in and of itself, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily Japanese. Like, this could just be like with a few additions or changes. Like, this could very much be like modern cabin or like Scandinavian or like whatever. Like, it's kind of a neutral build with some like, the back garden you'll see kind of has this Japanese vibe, and then the artwork I get from like City Living, which has like koi fish and like mountains and shit. So that's kind of where we're at with that. And then I did want to incorporate, I'm sure this is like a thing in a lot of other places, but this was like my first real experience with this was in Japan, of having the toilet room separated from the bathroom. And I'm sure that this is like a thing other places, but in America, which is where I am from, when you say like the bathroom, you are talking about a room that has a toilet, a sink, potentially a tub and a shower, or just a tub, or just a shower, or like a tub shower combo. So that's something that I found very characteristic of like Japanese homes that I stayed in like Airbnbs and stuff, is there is like just that separate toilet room, which to me makes so much sense. And then you have like your bathing room, which has like a shower, which is like built into the wall. I mean, like, every shower is built into the wall, but like it's just like the shower head, and then like the whole like room is like a shower room, and then there's like a bathtub. which is something that I really like too, because I really am like a bath person. I love taking baths, but I'm definitely on the same train of thought that like bathing is for relaxing and like chill time, and you should be clean before you get in the bath. So I love the idea of having like a separate bathtub for bathing, and then like you shower first, kind of a deal. So that's kind of like where we were with that. And then I'm also just now realizing I wanted to change those saucer lights to something like not as like basic and boring, but I'm pretty sure I didn't, so I guess that's just gonna have to be how that is. But they have like the best lighting, so what can you do? Speaking of changes, so I did at the end, I realized I wanted to put in a coffee pot, so I put that in. So you can download this with a coffee pot, with a trash bin in the kitchen, and the mailbox and trash bin outside. So also, I did want to bring in the Japanese, I don't know, like lifestyle, whatever, I don't know. Just the fact that they don't wear shoes inside, and they have like a special sectioned off area in the front of their doorway, which I believe is called, now don't chop my head off, but I think it's the Genkan, I think, where it's basically like a front entryway, and it's like, I guess you could call it like the Japanese version of like a mud room. I don't know, I've never had a mud room, so like I don't really know. Anyway, it's just like a front little like sunken in area where you take your shoes off, and that's where your shoes live and they stay there and they don't go into the house, which I also really like because then it keeps your house clean as well. We can't really do, well, I mean, we probably could. If you're a better builder than me, you could probably figure this out. I had originally wanted to do like an actual physical sunken in area in front of the door. However, for the absolute life of me, I couldn't figure out how to do it successfully in front of the door to have it sunken in, but also have the raised foundation, because I really wanted to use the stilt foundation because I saw some really cool like inspiration photos on Pinterest where the homes in Japan were like lifted up on stilts. So that kind of posed a problem, and it was just like a whole thing. So that's kind of like what that little front area, like that's sectioned off, is meant to be. I wanted to give it like the illusion or like the sectioned off, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so then as you can see, I am now putting up like the Japanese inspired artwork, and I feel like that's what gives it the Japanese vibe, because this build by itself I don't think is particularly Japanese. It's very like, it seems like rustic modern is kind of just like the general build, but then with the addition of I think the back garden and then some of the artwork that's in there that is Japanese inspired kind of gives it that vibe. So anyway, I did want to keep this like a smaller, cozier build and keep it very like nice and like I actually didn't imagine a couple living here, to be honest. Usually like when I'm building a home I kind of imagine like more than one sim usually, but for this build I kind of imagined it was just one person who lives here by themselves, and maybe they are like, because I don't even know how much this house costs, but it has to be kind of expensive. So I imagine they probably have like a pretty good job and they just like live by themselves in this like little modern home, and they like to entertain, and so they have, you know, like a nicer kitchen, and like it's really like nice and like cozy. Like I just imagine they like it to be like really like close and like cozy, you know. Anyway, so then in this back garden area I wanted to have a pond that also had this sort of like island area in it, and I was gonna build like a little walkway or like a little bridge, but then I wasn't like really sure how to do the bridge without it, like, I don't know, being weird and like not really right, because you can't build over a pond, which is a problem. You might be able to build over like a pool, I don't really know. So I went with my little spade stepping stone faux walkway, which I feel like does look really nice, and it does give it that like Japanese garden kind of aesthetic. However, your Sims can't actually get to that little island part. You can, however, I think if you have like testing cheats on, you can have them like teleport over there if you like shift click. It does end up being like really cute, and it's kind of like a photo op-y kind of spot. And I used the big tree from movie time, whatever. Yes, this one with the lanterns in the tree, which I really love. And of course, like, lanterns are a big part of Japanese culture and like celebration. So the only thing that would have made that better is if that tree had red lanterns hanging from it, which I was kind of hoping that was the deal, because I didn't really want to use the light poles that have like the the lanterns hanging off of them, just because it seems a little bit too like public festival space and like less cozy like home area, you know? So anyway, and then I made a couple of little like pathways and kind of like zhushed up the back garden and made it like really nice, and like you can go back there to like hang out and like chill and like spend time. And it's not really like, this definitely isn't like a family friendly build, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely like a single person or for a couple. It's not like, there's no room for kids here. I just imagine this person probably doesn't want kids or doesn't want kids for a while. Actually, like, after I finished this build, I was really excited about it. Like, it turned out really good, a lot better than I thought it was going to, because I did build the other one and like, I don't know, it just like didn't turn out right. So I was kind of like, maybe this isn't gonna turn out right, but it's really like cute and I love it, and I kind of want to like have some Sims live here because it turned out really cute. So anyway, enough of my rambling about how much of a weeb I am. I'll let you guys enjoy these screenshots because we are just about there. If you guys have any comments, tips, tricks, or suggestions, as always, please leave them in the comment section below. And thank you guys, as always, for hanging out with me. I super duper appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think about the build in the comment section below, or if you guys want to see me do something else, let me know. And I will see you little cuties in the next one. Bye!